Fire hydrant isos are your active version of potentially a passive lotus pose or Taylor's pose. Yeah, so you're essentially working the antagonist muscles of your adductors, which are your glutes, to try and spread your legs a little bit further. Of course, building strength in that end range. So to do this, you might need some weight plates, starting lighter obviously and going heavier from there, and some kind of box to help get into the position. From the front, it looks like this. So I'm going to be kneeling on all fours, hands down on the floor, knees underneath the hips, and I'm going to place one knee and most of the leg up onto the box. Now this bottom leg, I want to keep the kind of leg as straight as possible, and I want to choose a height for this box that isn't going to tip my hips out too much. I want to try and keep that pelvis somewhat level to the floor. There or thereabouts will be good. From here, your goal is to then press into the floor to create stability here. Now, pelvis is somewhat neutral, right? So I don't want a posterior pelvic tilt and I don't want an anterior pelvic tilt. I'll show you from the side in a little moment. But then once we have that, we're simply going to try to use our side butt here to lift the knee up as high as we can off the box without rotating away or changing the position of the pelvis. So we're using our abs a little bit to keep our pelvis still, pressing into the floor, and then we lift just the leg. A little trick you can do here as well, if you're not feeling the glute, is bias external rotation of that femur a little bit and let the foot drop towards the floor. So if I were to show you from this side, obviously I'd prefer to have more of me on the box, but this is just for demonstration purposes. After that lift, say you're not feeling too much, you could try to drop that foot a little bit more and continue to lift, and chances are you'll get a little bit more glute. Now, if we were to add some load into this, it would look like this. So setting up in the same position, and now we can simply place that light weight onto that 90-degree angle of the calf and the thigh. And then from there, same thing, pressing into the floor, abs are on, and lift for the prescribed time. I usually like to go 5 to 7 seconds before resting, and repeat, yeah? Now I was mentioning anterior and posterior pelvic tilt, so I'll just quickly show you from the side what that looks like. So I'm not too worried about this anterior pelvic tilt or this. In fact, I want you just to stay somewhat neutral, yeah? So relax your spine, let it go to wherever it wants to be, and then go and do your lift from there. And that is your fire hydrant isometrics.